Lesson earlier. Yeah, that's cool. Please come back. All right, now we had one performer left. He did the responsible thing to call ahead and still come up last. But we're going to do that for the headliner. Zach Hunt.
How you guys doing?
Great.
I'm gonna try to do what no one's done. Keep this fucking mic plugged in. Alright, so most of this is new shit. It's already semi-bombed, so we're gonna try to make this a double bomb. Hiroshima at its best. Alright, so I think unanimously we all agree that we don't like to move. Like, it fucking sucks. But when you move, like, take a poll. How many of you hire somebody? Exactly, fucking me. Y'all DIYers. So, like, I had two neighbors that are moving out because, keeping house is more of a hobby now. But, like, one of them was trying to do it themselves. They had, like, the U-Haul van you can go get. The other person had, like, 2 guys in a van or whatever it is, 5 guys, 6 guys, whatever. But they were there, and, like, I saw midway through, because there was, like, older guys trying to do it himself. Like, he gave up halfway through it. These guys were like, let's go help him out. So, like, I see they stopped their thing, and they go over there. And I don't know about you, but I was fucking outraged, because I don't tolerate freeloading. And I'm all for lifting up women, like empowering them. Like, I don't feel like I have to. They can do it themselves. But if I have an opportunity, a skill set where I can do it, might as well do it. And like, I've always done music, like played guitar, sung. And any job I get, usually I get forced into a management job, like even out of prison. We'll get to that later. But I decided to represent a female rapper. And like, she's gonna be easy to follow. I'm only gonna let her perform once a month. And not because I'm holding her down. That's just when she has the heaviest flow. Thank you. And I saw in a community of comedians, like this group, they were kind of debating, they get sick of seeing people that go to like open mics and just wing it. Because they feel it takes away from the time that people are actually putting in a lot of craft, like writing their stuff down. And I can understand that, because like I've seen people, like I literally just went out to Austin to kill Tony and saw about 10 people that have never done an open mic bomb. While I'm sitting there like, 1,100 miles, shit. But I can kind of understand that. But like me, I do both. I consider myself a right winger. It's a slogan. Like it's Scotch. And also, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a huge fan of history. Like it doesn't matter if it's like learning about it, trying to make it, or deleting it from the internet. But early in the year, I found out Nancy Reagan in her youth was quite the little head monster. Like, she was blowing half of Hollywood. Gone with the Wind was actually inspired by one of her blowjobs. Like, what I'm trying to tell you guys, like, Nancy Reagan knew her way around the clock, like Jenny knew her way around the block. And I'm sure, like, it just had to send Ron. Like, he's just sitting there like, I'm trying to tell these people just say no, and you're not doing it for the dick. But if he's smart, like, use that as a tactic. Like, maybe the whole reason the Berlin Wall went down is because behind the scenes, he was like, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down those drawers. And like he seemed like he hated crack so much, and I think I know why. That's all he ever saw when Nancy was blowing somebody. But I did a deeper dive, and I forgot that in '68. Fucker. Fucking lost. God damn it. All right. So in '68, he ran against Nixon. The Republican. Yeah, I'm gonna hold this bitch in. It's not happening again. In '68, he ran against Nixon, lost. Then Nixon would go on to be the president, and he'd ultimately get out of office because of the Watergate scandal by the Washington Post breaking it by their deep throat leaker. But it got me thinking, well, the Reagans so pissed off by this loss, did they leak the story to the Washington Post? Was Nancy Reagan deep throat? And if she was, give her a round of applause, because that had to be the biggest big shit we took down. Thank you. And I got a shooting joke also. So you hear about shootings every day. Like, you almost assume you're going to walk out there and it's going to get you. It's like crabs. It'll happen. You just don't know when. But I read that like last year, 23,000 people died from being shot. And it didn't matter if it was suicide, homicide, scorned lover, fellow brother, outlaw shopping, or traffic stopping. 14,350 people died from being shot. 1 in every 14,000. That's a lot. Yeah. 1 in 14,300 people died from being shot. But I also read 44,000 people died from falling. So statistically, you're twice as likely to go from a trip than you were the clip. And they identify mass shootings anytime 2 people get shot. Not killed, just shot. So if Randy's shitty, he goes to the fucking subway like, Rhonda, you bitch, shoots her. But then Tron gets hit in the back too. This is no longer a Dateline NBC episode about a love that went $5 wrong. We're now looking at a CNN special about a mass shooting in sandwich artists. And that takes away from the horror of that event. Because I'm pretty sure Sandy Hook's not hearing about a liquor store robbery like, I don't know. And they're both horrible. They're different horrors. So let's just let mass shootings be what they used to be. That moment on a Sunday when a priest was out of an altar boy. And you know, why is it acceptable for a 3-year-old to walk in a CVS with no shirt and it's cute, but when I do it, it's a felony? I don't get it. You know, I was getting to my grandma, because like my niece, there's always shit that like you don't want kids to see now. Like there's crazy shit. Like I'm okay with like incorporating everything, but when you're forcing into something, that's just an overreach. And I think, I don't know what the fuck the show is. Like Coco something, not Coco, the Disney shit. I'd sing that shit myself. It's like a little baby, like this is minutes. My grandma was like, no, your mom said not to watch that. I'm like, yeah, maybe like this crazy shit they're watching now is like why they have this wild. She goes, yeah, when you were young, you watched Fraggle Rock. You were fine. I'm like, Grandma, I've smoked crack, done coke. It's a ridiculous spice, just got off meth, been clean off that for 6 months. The first rock I hit was Fraggle Rock. She didn't have a defense of that either. You know, how do we establish that 25 miles per hour is appropriate speed to run over a child at? Like literally, you go into a trailer park, business area, 10 speed bumps, try to pass a buddy. But if you're in a school zone, you can live like a god. You know, some words, like when I look at states, I try to give them different meanings because I don't like to stereotype the people. Like what state sounds like a friend that's met his friend Kenneth is now going to decide to be Kendra? Kentucky. And what state sounds like a shitty 1920 Chicago mobster? He's got to ask somebody for directions. Alaska. And what state best encapsulates living in the Midwest? Missouri. And I'll end on this. This is more of a tale. About 2.5 weeks ago, I left to go do Kill Tony in Austin. I drove all the way down there, made it, signed up, didn't get on, but you get to see the show for free. And I met Theo Vaughn, which is fucking awesome. But the trip there and back was really, really complicated because on the way to the mic, I do Uber. I guess all the other Uber riders are already on the clock. I'm waiting. But like, I was going up north dropping somebody off in Noblesville before going to do the mic down in Bloomington. And I'm like, that kind of looks like a tornado. And he's like, no, my house. I said, dude, that's just a fucking tornado. Fuck your house. We all gone. Find out when I got back, it was a tornado. So when I left the mic, did it cut? Okay. So this sounds like it so. When I left the Bloomington mic, I drove straight to Texas. And like I stopped around Missouri because it was raining pretty heavy. Didn't know that. No one listens to the fucking radio. Guess that was a once-in-a-century store they had. So I slept in that.
What year was that?
This year, it's like recently.
Oh.
The one they just had. Like, I should have been out there like Amy Dufresne, like the fucking Shawshank Redemption, just probably the only bath I was gonna get through was. So I get down to Texas, and like you think it's hot here, it's 108. Like that kind of humidity is like, I feel like I should have consent to be that humid. Like I was like, why do you want me? Like, and so like I signed up to do the mic, and like Indiana homeless. Like last month I was here, had a friend that had to have his pants off. Called my hand meatball. We're still cool. Just waiting for him to come back. But they're homeless and fucking violent. Like I've seen like in Indianapolis, they try to negotiate with you. They're like, man, I need $1. I'm like, I ain't got it. Like, I'm Barty. I'm not like Rick on Pawn Stars. Like, I don't have a fucking dollar. Like, I'm really fucking homeless. I'm really fucking broke, dude. Like, look around. But you go to Austin, they'll come up with a gimmick. Like, I see a dude walking across the street with cards. I'm like, you're not David Blaine. If you are, COVID went really bad. He walks up. Their trick is they go to the white guy's 110 pounds. Because he's the easiest to walk to the ATM. I've seen it everywhere. So like he gets two of them standing there, and he's like, "Bet that's a double special." So they're talking. They're like, "I'm sorry, sir, you're interrupting us." He's like, "Bitch!" He's like, "Oh, we don't do that in Indianapolis. Like, they'll at least try to barter with you before they get to that point. Usually he's already there anyways." But like I did the Kill Tony thing, didn't get on. But like when I'm leaving, downtown Austin's when it's funnest. There's a dude yelling at people in traffic with a raft on the fucking concrete. Like, there's no water. Like there's a drought. So I don't know. He's like, "Get out of my way! I got the right of way." I'm like, "You're right in the way. Like you're not really helping the situation." And like, I was trying to be charitable before I left. I had $5 because you know parking's $45 fucking. So like, there's a homeless dude just laying on the ground. I'm like, you know, it'd be a great thing if he wakes up like there's $5 in. But it was like 40-mile-per-hour wind. So not I let the wind rob in, or somebody had probably assaulted him because they're like $5 and he's just getting his ass kicked. Like I basically paid for a homeless man to get hit probably. Like I can't take that back. And I about got a felony on the way home too, because apparently it is more legal to have weed in Texas than it is in Indiana. Like, we got you on abortion, but you got us on weed. Speaking of that, I saw today also, I'll kind of end on this, it's kind of irony. Lily, in protest of the abortion ban, said, we're pulling out. But, see, I think these jokes not trying. But really, that's like your heroin dealer saying like, you know, I've gotten all you guys high for all these years. I'm done. Like, try to get your life together now. Like, oh God, I guess we'll have to legalize weed or something now. I'm like, God forbid opioids ever come here again. But you know, actually I'm not gonna end on that. Fuck that. I told you the abortion joke too. Abortions are like the McRib. Neither are good for you. Nobody wants them until they're unavailable. And in the end, the client's gonna decide whether you have them or not. Thank you. Give it up for Brent for hosting and Mary Ann for having it.
Is that gonna